Tequila time, and we're here with a new product. So we'll talk a little bit about it, and we're going to drink some. So what we have to introduce today is Cambio Tequila. I'm going to leave this here a little bit, but we're going to talk about it a little bit, and my information up here. So Cambio Tequila is made. Let's get back to here. It's made at NOM 1605, which it's made in the old part of the distillery, and the owner of Cambio, which I never could find his name in the thing. I know he's a chef and sommelier, and I got into tequila and wanted to do things a little different. So they do things a little bit different. They use their own estate agave, and they wait until they're completely ripe before they harvest them. They cook them whole in the stone oven, and then they crush them whole in the tahona. They use wood fermentation vats, but they control the temperature with coils. Then they are cooked in a stainless steel pot still with a copper coil. And everything is distilled to 46%, 92 proof, and then do that all the way across the board. Now, from that point on, then we basically it's all the same. It's the same ingredients: agave, yeast, water, and some thyme. Um, the Blanco is then rested in a wood vat or in a wood barrel to just calm down. It does give it a little bit of a tint to it. It doesn't say what kind of a barrel; it just says that it's mellowed in the barrel. So on that one, and then on the Reposado, this one here, like I said, we're gonna get a good tequila blanco, tequila reposado, and the tequila reposado is aged in white Bordeaux and white Burgundy barrels and a Chardonnay barrel, which gives it a very nice color. Let me get some light on it. So really nice, nice color to it. You notice they're open. Got all the neck pores out and let them air out a little bit. And then last is the Anejo. And these are fairly reasonably priced. I got them from Sip Tequila. I got the whole set for about $175 plus shipping. The Blanco is about $49, so and then they're reasonably priced along the way. Um, Getting back to the Anejo, it's a little bit darker than the Reposado. It is then aged in a blend of French oak, Chardonnay, and cognac barrels. So out of these three, really, really nice color. Got some new glasses from our friends at Amazon. Yes, I paid for them. I wanted some different glasses, so we're actually going to pull these glasses out. We're going to use them this evening, at least the stemmed ones, because I want to try them out. And they have the nice little fluted snifters. The set also comes with the little, what I call the little dish glasses, and we may try this one as well. And then the last but not least, and I would use these for a mixed drink, which is the little rocks glasses. And I needed some more stemware, so I'd have enough. If I wanted to have a guest in and we each pour three so we can go back and forth, I wanted to have enough glasses, and I needed a couple more of these. So we'll start out with the Blanco as usual. Like I said, these are different. I'm not going to say they're not. Different is a bad word. It's not the right word. I would say a different take on tequila, and not in a bad way, just different. Just like Tears is not the same as any other extra añejo. Tears is not the same as Ocho añejo or That's a bad example. Well, it's not the same as like extra añejo from Cascaween. It's just different. They're just different. The processes are almost all the same. They're doing a little twist to them. You know, they tried a little bit something to do something, change the flavor profile. They use deep well water just like everybody else uses. So it's just one of those things that um, just kind of mixing it up a little bit, and they did a great job at it. Yeah, everybody that's reviewed them, Doug Price has reviewed them, Long Island Lou has reviewed them. They like them. They score them in the upper 80s on Tequila Matchmaker. I'm looking at Tequila Matchmaker right now for the Blanco. We got an 86. Let's go back. We'll look at one of the other ones. Reposado. Hopefully come up. But they all. The Reposado on the pan. So the panel gave it an 86 on the Blanco, an 85 on the Reposado, and an 89 on the Anejo. And I'm gonna have to agree with that. That's right about where I would have put it as well. Um, my favorite, which is I'm not usually a Reposado, but the Reposado just stood out above the other two. The aging on it probably helped it to my palate. Um, I would recommend all three of these to anybody interested in trying them. To go ahead and buy them, try them out, do the things that you think you need to do with it. Um, but we're going to taste them. So let's get to tasting. I was hoping to have a guest for this, but that didn't work out. So, oh, like I said, if I compare this side by side with anything else, it's not going to compare. Um, in Sueño, maybe, but I don't have any of the new expressions, so I can't go that way. But this is very similar to in Sueño as far as being rested and proof wise. So let's give this a little pour. Very nice and clear. And getting the cooked agave. It's very mild to the nose. Some hints of citrus. Smells wonderful. There's no odd smells. There's no major ethanol smells coming from it, or. So I'm gonna, this is gonna be very enjoyable. It's got nice legs running down the glass. Let's give her prep the mouth a little bit, and we'll give it a good taste. Nice mouthfeel. Definitely good mouthfeel. Remember, it is 92 proof, so it's got a little bit of higher octane to it, but it's very pleasant. Um, very gentle and going down. Um, no, I wouldn't recommend. Sorry, I had some dental work done. And I bit my tongue, so word ain't coming out just right. I would not recommend this to a beginning tequila drinker unless you're going from bourbon, and then I would do the añejo. But for getting somebody into, especially drinking Blanco tequila, give them something else first. Give them this second, only because of the proof. Starting about something at 80 or 38, something at 38%, 40%, then work your way up to this. Um, there's no big, oh, that's really hot. No, it's not that. It's just It on the back on the finish as it comes down, it's nice and warm. But that's it. And very. Let's give some more taste because I'm. This tastes good. It's just different. I would not compare this to, like I said, Ensueño would be the closest, only because of the mellowing in a barrel. Um, Ease of drinkability, Lalo, but the flavor profile's different. Um, and I think a lot of that has to do with their processes. Um, Playing with that fermentation, keeping it a constant temperature throughout the whole fermentation process, being able to cool it down or warm it up, depending on what they needed to do, is going to make a difference on its flavor profile, on how much the yeast does to the juice. So that's one of the major things. But the availability, that's probably the problem right now. They're trying to get distribution wider. They said I had to go through Sip Tequila to get it. So, but I had a $25 off coupon that paid for shipping, and it was marked down from what it was originally, or it was on sale. So getting it at that price, that's still 3 bottles for $175. You try to do that with Fort Eliza, even normal price, it's 300. You try to do that with Cascouine, that's 300. So it's a fairly reasonable price for a very, very good tequila. It's just take into account it's different. Just like you, just like me. We're all different. And this, I said, if the proof was down to 80, and I enjoyed it at this, don't get me wrong, but if it was down to 80, it would probably be a great beginner whole lineup of tequila. Um, I think the proof point, it's not that it's bad having the proof point that high, which is not that high, but it's high enough that it'll deter a few people. But once they get into it, not being the first drink of the evening, not being the second, but the fourth or fifth drink of the evening, when you're sipping ounces of tequila, this is going to be great. This is going to be the discussion of the evening, going through these three expressions. I opened these up with my sister and my brother-in-law, and of course, the proof point's the first thing that popped up. I mean, that was the immediate right on the mouth. It was our first drink of tequila for the evening. Though we like it a little higher, mostly this guy. Um, it was, and tasting it tonight versus 2 nights ago when we opened these, um, my palate was off, and all of ours were palates were off. Don't know exactly why. Um, weren't getting a lot of the subtleties in the aromas and the flavors. I'm getting more of those tonight. So sorry, we're doing good. I need a drink. Um, so let's taste some more because it's good for you. I know. I know things. Ow. So right up front, right up front, cooked agave. Mid palate, I start getting fruit. And I'm going to say plums because that's about what it reminds me of. Um, get a little lime in there, maybe a little mango. Those are right up there. So this is very, very enjoyable. Like I said, getting the mouth ready, having the palate ready for the proof. Um, that would be a thing to get prepped for. But otherwise, this is delicious. The 85, I'd probably go a little higher than that. I'm going to go 87. Um, it's definitely worth the money to buy this. Um, yeah, I just maybe Lost Lore, but Lost Lore Blanco has majorly different profile. It's a little more minty. It's a little more vegetal. This is definitely fruit forward. So, you know, just take that into account when you're getting some of this here. Salute. Wow. Yeah. That's a fruit bomb. I mean, and that's as a Blanco. That's a fruit bomb. I can't explain it other than waiting for that agave to get it super ripe as they can, and they slow cook it as long as they can, and then they crush it whole. So all that's good stuff. So Cambio Blanco, that's a plus for me. That's a go get it. If you only want to try one, always start here. If you're wanting to do something else, you know, like I said, I usually start with the Reposado, then go to the Blanco, then go to the Anejo. That's my nature. But with this, started with the Blanco to begin with. Lots, like I said, mango, plums, they're all right there. About mid palate, just go kind of that juicy fruit explosion in the back of your mouth. So we move on. Now we have the Reposado, aged in white, Bordeaux, white Burgundy, and Chardonnay barrels. Cambio Reposado. I'm going to try to hold this, see if you can make that out. But the color, get my hand out of the way, get it behind the. It's got a nice dark straw color to it. Reposado, that color. Lost Lore to be about that color. Fortaleza is a single barrel. Um, some Cascaween, but I think those would be single barrels and they'll be specialty. They would be single barrel picks. Might be this dark. Yeah, let's put it in a glass and let's just get a better look at it. Very enjoyable. Tequila in general, I'm very happy with this purchase. So you got that nice golden straw color. Let's see if we can move the light over here a little bit more, so you get a little better look into it. There we go. So we get a nice straw color to it. It's nice and dark. Like I said, I've seen the Yejos this dark. Not a Reposado. Again, I'm getting the cooked agave up front. Getting some fruit notes in the backside. Now, these are in wine barrels, so I don't know how dry or how wet they were when they were filled with tequila. So it's hard telling, but I mean, more than likely, they're giving off some of that, of that out of the the barrel. But um, this is again, viscosity is great, especially on the glass. I've had a taste of it, but this is going to be all new to me because my palate was way off. I couldn't. I got I got the cooked agave and then nothing, and then just pepper on the back end. What was it, Friday night? Just that wasn't happening. So we kind of gave up. We enjoyed it, but we gave up. We started messing with other tequilas that we knew the flavor profile of, and those were messed up, so we knew our palate was off. But today, everything seems to be hunky dory. I'm getting lots of good notes from it. Let's give it a try. Mm-mm-mm. Wow. Let's see. Again, cooked agave up front. I'm getting some of those same fruit notes. The mango more pronounced in this one, but I do get the plums. But I do get that gentle barrelness um, that you would normally get with French oak. So it's also bringing those fruit notes out forward. Does the wine affect it? Maybe a little bit on the backside of the palate. You get a little bit of that. I'm not a big wine drinker. The little bit that I've had, sometimes you get that little drying in the back of the throat. Just that um, grape skin flavor. Getting a touch of that with this, but not not worth making a note of. Honestly, it's not unpleasant. It's just there. But again, a fruit bomb. If the Blanco is a fruit bomb, this is just going to mellow it out just a little bit more because of the wood. They don't give me any age statements on each one, but I'm going to guess that Reposado's got to be close to. It's going to have to be close to a year. I don't know that they would have waited to the last minute. You do 23 months on it, but I'm going to guess, or 12 months. I'm going to say at least 8 months in a barrel because to get that color, even from a French oak barrel, that's going to be a little unusual. But this stuff tastes great. Like I said, if you go, I don't know if Old Town has it or not. You guys can look it up. I know they have a few distributorships in the U.S. They're not here in the Midwest by any means. So if you you want to buy it online, Sip Tequila is right in line of what their pricing is. I think they may have online purchases like Sorte does through a particular um, distributor. So I would check their website at Cambio Tequila. I know they're giving out, they got some, they quote the prices. They have another line other than their base line. I'm not going to venture into that yet. Um, I like this by itself. I don't want to have to pay extra for something that's just, oh, we did this in this other barrel. I'm good. I've got plenty of irons in the fire for something else, and we'll get to that at the end. But this is just delicious. Let's give her another taste. Yeah, mangoes and plums, light wood, very delicious. Like I said, you get used to the higher proof. The rest of it doesn't matter. It doesn't matter. um, it actually probably brings out those flavors just a little bit more. And then my understanding that this is not watered down. They distill it to this proof, and this is it. That's why they didn't want to put any more water into it to dilute it. They like the profile at this proof. So, wow. Can't say enough good things. I mean, I know this got a little bit lower score on Team M than the Blanco did, but everybody's palate's a little different. I enjoy this. Do I like it better than the Blanco? No, about the same. Um, so it is what it is, dear fellers. So we'll give her a last close look. Great legs going down the glass. Great legs. This is definitely something to have. And I'd buy the whole series. At that price, I'd buy the whole series. I mean, I paid more than that for one single bottle. So buy the whole series and enjoy it. Open it up with friends. Talk about it. Compare it to other things. Um, I can't, like I said, if I had the whole with all the new flavors that they've come out with Ensueño, maybe I could compare it side by side with that. I've had the Ensueño. I've bought 2 bottles of it. I think I had lot 1 and lot 2 of the Blanco. I loved it, but again, moved on to other things. And they came out with lot 3, and then they started coming out with the Reposado, and I think they have something else. I've seen all the ads for it, but I've got spending my money elsewhere, and we'll talk about that at the end. So let's finish this off. Salud. There's nothing wrong with any of that. There's nothing wrong with it. It's delicious. Does it taste like tequila? Yeah. It reminds me more of Tears, in just the way it carries itself. That would probably be a great example. I've never had Tapatio Excelencia. I'm going to assume it's in that in that category. Um, so, hey, dig into the website on the Cambio, and like I said, there's a master chef. He's the one that is the owner of this brand, and I believe he's their own master distiller. And well, they have a master distiller on site. He works directly with him on getting the flavor profile where he wanted it, and they did a lot of experimenting before they decided to put out a product. I've seen interviews with him. Like I said, though I can't remember his name. Um, and Doug Price at the Agave Social Club, he's tasted it. I can't remember who I saw the interview with. I really can't. Um, it might have been with Doug, but this is delicious stuff. Let's go into the Anejo, and then we can talk about a couple other things before we close this session up. So, Anejo, as you see, nice, dark, and then we go back to the label, aged in a blend of French oak, Chardonnay, and cognac barrels. And I see that, I'm thinking, okay, Tears. This has got to be right up there with Tears. Even though Tears is an extra Añejo, because this is not that old. But I was a little mistaken, because the first notes when I tasted this Friday, and granted, it was an neck pour. I did leave the bottles open for a little while we were discussing the other ones um, along the way, and I so I let it breathe a little bit, but just a little bit, because I was really, really anxious to try this. Let's give her a color check. That is just a little bit darker than the Reposado, and but my first sip of this on Friday reminded me of one tequila only, and that was Fortaleza Añejo. Because right, other than the cooked agave up front, I got hazelnut out the wazoo. I'm like, okay, that's it. No wonder it scored an 89 on Tequila Matchmaker. So let's give her a nose, and then we'll give her a taste. Oh, yeah, there's hazelnut right there. That wonderful barrel influence. Oh, you get that deep, deep, dark cooked agave. Now, I say that if you go to tequila, or if you go to a tequila distillery and they have just finished cooking their agave, whether it's in a stone oven or whether it's in a autoclave, they open the door to that, and that warm cooked agave smell comes up. That's this. You get that nutty, you get that sweet cooked agave smell. I mean, the whole town of tequila smells that way. You spend 8 hours there, you will smell this way. It becomes prevalent in everything. So understand, when people talk about the cooked agave, and if they've been to tequila, they know exactly what they're talking about, because everything tastes like this. The water tastes like this. No, the water. You know what I mean? This is floating through the air all the time. Doesn't matter which distillery. When we stayed at Casa Salas, about a month ago, you'd wake up in the morning and go out to eat breakfast and go outside, and whether it was El Tequilino cooking, or whether it was the Orandines that are cooking, or whether it was Fortaleza that was cooking, you were going to smell agave, cooked agave, within 100 yards of where you were standing. So you were going to smell it, and you got used to it, and then you get used to when it was in the fermentation tanks and the yeast is going to town, and the fumes coming off of it. It smelled like agave beer. I mean, just depending on what time of day it was. Let's give her another good smell and a taste. Yeah, I get the deep cooked agave. I get the nutmeg smell. Let's go for a taste. Mm. Wow, man, fish on the thing's long. It's still there. Um, wow, taking my breath away. Not that it's that strong. It's just there. It's still there. Um, so great mouthfeel. Finishes long. You still get the fruit bomb, but you get the hazelnut along with that older aging from those barrels. Again, would compare it to Tears or another extra añejo. I have uh, Arete Gran Reserva and extra añejo. This is right in there. That's a little more agave forward as far as in your face cooked agave, but this has got those plums, and the mangoes are still in here from the Blanco. You just started adding the French oak to it, and the longer aging gives it that nice hazelnut flavor, and the over, I won't say overcooked agave, but that's what my brain associates it with. Delicious, delicious stuff. Again, if you can find it, you can afford it, I recommend buying it. It's something different. It's a definite trio that I would love. I've done it. That's why I did it. Was to add to my collection to share. It's it's like nothing else I've ever tasted. Um, that's a little bit of an exaggeration, but not by much. It's just that different, and it's delicious. It's just different, and the little things that he's done to change his flavor profile are all for the. I mean, they're all good. Are they? Is it better than Fortaleza? Mm, I don't compare tequilas that way. Fortaleza is Fortaleza. Cascaween is Cascaween. Arete is Arete. G4 is the G4. And then Tequila Ocho. They're all different. They're all made out of the same three ingredients, but they're master distillers and their palates and what they do, how they design their tequilas, completely different. Um, this is just definitely on the sweeter side of things. Um, so if you are into fruity and want to drink neat, this is a great choice. Great, 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 great choice. So I definitely recommend this to anybody who wants to, who likes to have new mixed drinks with tequila. Well, hey, let's try something neat that I'll like. And if you can get through the proof part, you're good to go. It's golden. I'm telling you, this is the most gentle 92 proof. The finish is the only thing that's getting me, and not in a bad way. It's in a good way. I mean, if I wasn't talking, I wouldn't have these problems. But trying to talk and you still got alcohol in the back of your throat, it tends to cause a little problem, but nothing major. It's just, oh. All right. Last drink, then we're going to talk about a couple things, and I'll see you. That's delicious. So I've been a busy boy on the internet this weekend. I've been acquiring bottles, Fortaleza Still Strength. Through purchases, I'll probably get one through a trade. Been picking up a few. I have a in bottle aging project that I'm starting. Um, I got some new wood staves from Barrel Mill. I have to modify these. They're too big to fit in the damn bottles. I don't know. I wasn't paying attention to the descriptions. I thought they were going to be the same size as Beyond Barrels at a half inch. These truckers are 1 inch thick, so I'm going to have to modify them to get them in. I don't have barrels, and I'm not putting them in plastic to age. I sure as heck don't have any glass to do it that large. So I am going to attempt with probably, well, first things first. This was my recent in bottle aging project. I bought a bottle of Cascaween Tahona, and I turned it into my own Reposado. Now, if you can't tell, this looks more like the Blanco we were just looking at. I don't know if I can get the light. It's real. This is about the same color as the Cascaween SVD. Have I tasted it yet? No, because I just pulled the stick out of it and I've been letting it mellow out. This will be soon. We're going to do several of these at one time on the channel. The last store purchase, I got a bottle of G4 Madeira, and I'm going to use one of the new sticks when I set it down. Size it down. That's the right word. Size it down. This one, I think I haven't decided if I'm gonna go Reposado or if I'm gonna go full blown Anejo with this. The G4 Madeira series, Blanco is readily available, but any of the rested, whether it's Reposado or Añejos, are exclusive to special events or special releases. I want to make a Reposado out of this. It may go longer than that. Considering I'm doing it in bottle, it doesn't really matter. It's going to be a Reposado. Color wise, I'm looking for a little, definitely darker than this. Their Day of the Dead that came in the coffin was a Madeira Reposado, and also I did a Añejo and maybe an extra Añejo in this. The extra Añejo was fairly dark. I'm looking for a Repo. Remember, I'm a Repo guy, so. But I think I'm going to do that. I'm going to season my wood stave, my American oak wood stave, in Woodford Double Oaked for a section. It's probably a week, 5 to 7 days. Let it soak all that bourbon into it, set it out to dry, and then insert it into bottle. And then I'm going to start at 5 days with this on that. I had said, I guess I've been busy. I got 3 bottles probably being shipped tomorrow of Fortaleza Still Strength. I want to do, I may do one of those in the Woodford Double Oaked. I want to do one in a Ben Holiday barrel pick at 120, and it's weeded. And my last one, I need to get a sample from my brother-in-law of some old Rip Van Winkle that I want to soak a stave into and put into a bottle of Fortaleza Still Strength. I want to darken it down to what you normally see if you go online and look for Fortaleza single barrel. It's a light añejo color. That's what I'm looking to do with the barrel staves. I'm going to stick strictly with American oak, but I'm going to vary the bourbons that they were in. And I may char these a little more charred than what you get them right, because these don't even look like they have, I think they call them toasted. Yeah, these are toasted. I think I want to go a little darker than that. Not by much. Just fire up the old propane torch and give me some little black char on it. Before I age them or season them, and we'll do that, and then we'll try that and see how that goes. Those are my in bottle aging projects, and I'm looking forward to all of these. And I got a couple more purchases. I got another purchase coming in. Um, one of the best El Tesoros that I've had is aged in an Knob Creek rye barrel. I got a couple of those coming. One of those is definitely going up for a trade with a friend of mine, Jamie. You know who you are. And I jumped the gun before he got his hands on one, so I told him I'd do a trade with him, and that's fine because I needed fourth bottle of Still Strength because I think mine's empty. So I'd like to have I love I'd love that stuff straight. So I wish I'd quit looking at the screen and look at the camera. So until next time, y'all drink what you like and love what you drink. It's always tequila time, and we'll see you soon. I promise. Until then, salud, drink well. Bye bye.